Welcome to the Sandbox, the #1 podcast for Sandbox gamers and hardcore PvP action. But be warned, viewer discretion is advised. And now your hosts, Bullet, Blake, and Mitchell.
Hey, welcome to the Sandbox, episode number 54. I'm Kulit, and with me as usual is my cohorts, Quit.
What's up?
And Nero.
What's going on, everyone?
So, I don't know if I did that intro right, but it was kind of weird. I'm getting good sound on my end from the intro, so hopefully everything sounded okay when it was actually put out. You guys, did it sound okay to you guys?
It did to me, yeah.
All right, so forget I said anything. So it's been a little while. We've all been playing a lot of things. We went through a Steam sale. We went through a lot of games. Some games coming out. We got H1Z1 coming. We got Repopulation coming. We all played. Did you play Elite Dangerous, Quint?
No.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nate went deep. Went deep. Oculus and HOTAS for the Elite Dangerous, and got some new news coming about Mortal Online. So let's talk about what we've been playing. What have you guys been up to first? Any holidays good?
Yeah, I had a good holiday. Just spent time with family. Went to Dallas, hung out there a couple weeks, came back. Nothing really big or major.
Nice.
It's cool. I went to Detroit.
Detroit?
Yeah. I didn't get mugged.
Block for like $5 there or something?
What? No. Dude, it's bad there. Oh, man. I wasn't prepared. Like, there's a dead zone, a literal, like, half-a-mile dead zone that just goes around the outside of Detroit where it's just nothing but abandoned buildings and burned down houses. That shit ain't fake. Dude,
we gotta get like 20 of our friends together, dress up in zombie outfits, and just roam that area. Someone would shoot us.
We get shot. Detroit is nothing but gangbangers and hunters, like hillbilly hunters. That's it.
So anyone from Detroit who's listening to this cast, I want to apologize for Quint and his stereotyping of people from Detroit.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
I stayed local. A lot of video games going on at my house. Kids got the PlayStation 4. We had the Oculus Rift. Took the Oculus Rift. We went to a lot of parties during the holidays. Mm-hmm. I took my laptop and the Oculus Rift around, and I say probably Christmas Day, 50 people rode a roller coaster on my Oculus Rift.
Nice.
It's cool, man.
I got my kids the PS4. I've had the PS4 boxed in my house for like 3 months, and when I had the kids, I would put it away, and they were gone. I might bust it out and play a little bit, but they officially got it, over the break.
Nice. I hope they don't listen to this cast. They're gonna know there's no Santa.
Nah, too young still to download podcast.
So, my kid's just turned 5, like literally this weekend. Got a little electric guitar for his birthday, but he's been playing Plants vs. Zombie Garden Warfare, and I tell him that the mic is on, but I don't turn the mic on. He's talking to everybody and everybody.
My kids do the same thing. They'll talk. They love that game too. It's actually, so I finally pulled the controller from them and played it for like an hour. It's not a bad little game.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids playing it. I took the controller and got first. I don't get first in any regular shooter. So anyway,
I was playing some weird mode in that game where you like a tower defense mode. So I didn't get first.
Oh, no, that's so there's. Well, we don't really need to go to play.
No, we don't.
So anyway, so let's talk about. We all have PlayStation 4s. Mm-hmm. I kind of got deep around. We haven't cast in a while because I got deep around Thanksgiving on the PlayStation 4. I didn't throw out my back, but I kind of jacked it a little bit, and it was only hurting when I was sitting at my computer desk. So I was sitting on the couch and playing with the PlayStation 4, and I got deep into Warframe for a minute. You guys play that?
Yeah, I played it back when it first came to Steam, and supposedly now the game is completely different. Yes. I don't even remember what it was like back then to make a reference, but no, I played it a little bit, didn't like it, and I played it again last week and liked it a lot more.
I'm gonna have to check it out again. The only time I played it, I played it for about an hour when it
On
like,
PS4 or the
yeah,
PC?
on the PS4 when PS4 like first came out. So that was like one of the old games
Let me
on there.
let me run you guys through a mission so you can see what you can become. Because at first you're having a hard time killing a dog. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So this is my just to keep it short on Warframe because I could talk about Warframe for a bit because I literally played it like it was my only game for like 4 days straight, 4 days off, and my son kept going, Dad, can I have that PlayStation? 'Cause it's kind of his. So to me, so let me tell that story by starting this story. The other day, I loaded up Destiny. I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about Destiny. I was like, you know what? I gotta like that. There's got to be something there for me in Destiny. This is a game we've been waiting for how many years, and it came out, and it sucks. That's my opinion. But I got as far as I'm in the ship, and the ship's flying, and it's flying, and then I loaded up Diablo. I didn't even get to the ground to shoot anything. But that being said, Warframe is what I think Destiny should have been. Warframe, you can find groups, you can form groups, you can go out with 4 people. I haven't gone real deep into like a lot of the game. It's pretty much co-op at this point what I've been playing. And it really has that like get new stuff build on your character type feeling, which, you know, I didn't really get that from Destiny. I know it's there. It's just kind of a lot of load screens to get there, I guess.
Yeah, I guess Warframe just does it all with more instancing, and Destiny has that, but it's got wider zones.
Yeah, there's some wider zones in Warframe. Like the first time I ever played it, reminded me a lot of Global Agenda, if anyone remembers that game.
Yeah.
Where it was like just total corridors. But now there's big open areas, and there's even like you can collect the parts and build this like Warframe, which is like your suit, which is essentially your class that flies in space and shoots things in space. Anyway, give it a try. If you guys want to play it, we should all play it together, and I'll run you through a couple.
Yeah, no, I need help because I was trying to finish something and I kept dying.
Yeah.
Although I wanted to play on my own so I could like kind of grasp it, because what happens is they throw people in with you, and they just kill everything.
Yeah,
it's just
I get like
like
5%, they get 85%, and another guy gets,
it'd be the equivalent, like when you're playing Warframe, it's sort of like just playing a dungeon, like in Warcraft or something. You're just like playing through a mission.
Yeah, it's basically like Mass Effect meets Diablo.
Okay.
It's a third-person shooter with some powers.
Yeah, but you don't get gear drops, you get parts.
Yeah.
You get, like crafting stuff, and then you get these little perks that you put in your suit and you can combine them. Kind of like gems almost. You know, like a gem in whatever.
Diablo. Suck
Yeah,
it,
but like a gem. Yeah, but it's
Path of
like
Exile.
like you get these cards that you can put on your suit, and you put more of them on there once you level up. And so like when you first start, you have like 50 health and like 50 shield.
Okay.
Like I'm up to like 900 now because I built cards, put them together, and put them in my suit. Anyway, Warframe, check it out. I don't know if anyone wants to play. Friend me. I play once in a while. I'm still playing Diablo on that PlayStation 4, man. That game is good. They just released a patch. They're adding all kinds of stuff to it.
That's something I'm gonna get back into again. It's just, man, I haven't really had a lot of desire to play console games for a while now. So I've been so just.
Well, hurt your back.
What's that?
Yeah.
Hurt your back.
Dude, my back's hurt right now. I'm all jacked up.
So I was sitting in my chair and I was fine, but when I stood up, it was like no dice.
My problem. This is my problem. My living room is very big. It's like a big ass square. So there's nowhere where I can sit close enough to the TV where I'm comfortable playing on the console, unless I have to pull my computer chair like halfway through my living room, and then I'm okay.
2 words for you: gaming chair.
I always see those, and I'm like really considering
With the
getting one.
stickers, man.
Yeah, and like all the LEDs and shit.
Yeah.
So I played a bunch of PS4, and I beat The Last of Us.
So I'm about 3/4, I think. So
Yeah, I was
no
a-
spoilers, dude.
I was a little less than halfway, and I beat it. Yeah, it's good. Really fucking good.
Yeah.
And then I went and beat the DLC right after it.
How long was the DLC?
It was good. DLC was better in a lot of ways. Story-wise, not really better, but like the gameplay-wise, they had
How many
you would
hours?
sick.
How many hours total do you think you're in?
For the DLC, only like 3 or 4
Uh-huh.
or less, and the actual game was what 14, 16, something like
Not
that.
bad.
And we're all under the same. We all approach the game the same way. It's a great story. The combat's decent, so play it on easy and get through the story. Right?
Yeah, the story is amazing. The combat is actually just good enough where you can play it and have fun, but you're so eager to see what happens next, like you want it on easy.
Yeah, see, here's my problem with that game. And it's the same problem I have with like Silent Hill and fucking Resident Evil and all these games is that, dude, I get stressed out playing those games.
Clickers, man. Wait till you meet the
Yeah,
clickers.
I'm not even at that part yet. I'm like running from soldiers and I'm going through all these parts and it's such high anxiety gameplay because you're trying to be sneaky and you don't want to get caught, but if you do and you're not playing on easy, it gets fucking hard.
Yeah, we got to have a knife to shiv them, otherwise you're screwed.
Clickers. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
the
haven't gotten to the clickers yet.
I haven't even gotten there yet. I'm just at the soldiers.
I'm just like you. Like I've bought so many Resident Evil games, and I'll buy it in day one. I'll play like 7 hours of it, and that's it. Because I will never play it again because I know what's awaiting me. Like pure horror.
I don't even get that far. I play. I've been playing Last of Us in about pretty solid like 15-minute spurts, and then I just kind of have to like take a break, and kick back. But
Yeah, that game is
gotta get
really
through
good. I didn't expect to be that good.
Yeah.
People say it was like the best game of the year. I don't know. It's one of the best games I've ever played. Period. That
Yeah.
story is awesome.
It's not better than Darkfall or Mortal, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, single player games.
So, cool. So let's just round out our PlayStation time. I played some Last of Us. Really liked it. I played. You know what? I figured. They had a trial for Final Fantasy 14, and I gave it a go. The one thing that I couldn't get used to is it doesn't drop any gear. I love going out and just killing things and hoping to get like a cool drop of gear. It doesn't drop gear.
Yeah, you really want those monsters to drop a weapon, right?
right. So cool. The gear in that game. I mean, it's very heavily crafted base. You get people to make it for you. The crafting in that game plays a big part. The other part is, if you want a gear, you gotta do dungeons, or questing. If you quest, you'll get gear, but that's not.
Yeah, I was making fun of Cool It. Like when you're fighting monsters in that game. You don't want a monster to drop like full on gear.
Yeah.
Maybe gold and mats
Right.
makes more sense. I don't know. Like you play EverQuest 1 and 2 and like shit would drop weird shit.
That's
Well,
because
that's every game now.
That's because when the monster eats the other players, it swallows the sword, and when you kill it, the sword comes out. Come on.
But you know what was okay? Just a little tangent on EverQuest though. EverQuest was cool in that I can't think of another game since then where you would go out and you would camp like a named mob. Like you're like, all right, I want to get this fucking sword, and you go out and camp the named mob, and you could tell if that mob had the sword because he'd fucking be holding the thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes,
yeah.
sometimes he wouldn't have the sword, and you'd be like, "Oh, he's not holding the sword. All right, I'm not gonna mess with him, or I'll kill him to reset the 5 days fucking spawn timer." And then you come back 5 days later, and he doesn't have the sword. 5 days later, finally he's holding the sword. You fucking got it. I haven't seen a game that's done that since.
Yeah, I like that. The other thing that we've talked about before that EverQuest had was you could put stuff on the ground, log out, and come back, and it was still on the ground. And I don't know. I know that like Ultima does that, I believe.
Yeah.
But what else?
Well, you can do it. You can do it immortal by you drop your loot. It sits on a bag on the ground.
You can. Yeah. That is true.
Anyone can come pick it up.
Yeah.
Put
I
a
do
can out and Eve.
when I'm crafting, like when I'm just leveling my crafting and I'm just churning through things, and then you have to like delete everything. I just drop my bag and pick up the mats I want.
Oh, you can put stuff on the ground in Worm Online.
Yeah, you can. That's cool. That's true. I believe in Zion you could as well.
It's kind of an old school or sandboxy feature,
I like it.
Yeah, like, more online you can't.
Yeah.
On most games you can't really.
Well, we just said more. You can drop your loot. You can type /drop loot,
Oh, okay, okay.
Opposite.
That's right.
So the other game I played on the PlayStation 4, which I kind of have mixed feelings on. Can you hear me? Sorry. Is Dragon Age Inquisition. Now,
Yeah, I got that on the PC.
our good friend Butch, who needs to be mentioned every time we podcast because he'll cry if he's not. No. He went down the Dragon Age hole like Quint used to do. Like deep in the hole.
He went bad because he went back
Oh
to
yeah.
the first game.
He went back and beat
did.
1, and then went back to 3.
Did he do 2? I don't know if he beat 2 or
No, he didn't beat 2. He tried it and
is he in
wasn't into
is
it.
he in the Twitch?
He was. I don't know if he's still there or not.
So anyway, so I played it. There's a lot to like about the game. It just didn't get its hooks in me yet. Like I've got like a lot of other games I really want to play right now, so it's not necessarily the game's fault. I don't know, something about the first game where it was very tactical combat, right? And then the second game was very actiony combat.
Right.
This is a hybrid.
Yeah.
But if I play actiony, I just want one character to worry about, you know? So for me, it's like, so what I'm basically doing is just worrying about my character and letting the other guys do whatever they want.
Which works in Inquisition.
Yeah.
It's not hard enough.
It seems to work pretty well.
Butch said he got to Act 3 and 2. So yeah, he played a lot of freaking Dragon Age. He went deep, man.
I really liked Dragon Age 2's story. I thought it was awesome. But,
I liked 2 because it was more political.
yeah.
So all the story wasn't as epic. I don't know. I like 3 too. I think the problem with 3 is I never like put enough hours into it to get into the story.
Well, I think I'm like 12 or 14 or somewhere around there hours in, and me, with as bad as I had it for Dragon Age 1 and even Dragon Age 2, this game it's not grabbing me. I'm trying. I'm wanting to like it so bad, And I find myself just kind of like forcing myself to keep playing, and I'm not like getting emotionally involved with the story or the characters. And I got a GTX 980, and the game looks awesome. Plays on freaking full settings like butter, but it just, other than that, I'm just not. I don't know. I can't get into it for some reason.
I had the best video card for about a day. No, about a week. I bought a 70, and then Quinn went out and bought a 980.
Yep.
You bought a 980, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I got lucky. I've got a birthday that's really close to Christmas, so I ended up getting just a bunch of gift cards from a bunch of people and just pulled it all together. So I think I paid $120 out of my own pocket for 980. I'll take it.
Nice. Cool. So, all right. So that's all the PlayStation I have. You guys have any more?
Yeah, I have one more. I guess the same. I bought Shadow of Mordor after I beat Last of Us. So my PS4 goal is buy a game, beat a game, buy a game. I've already screwed it up with Steam. It's impossible. I have to beat like 300 games. But PS4, day one. So I beat Last of Us, so I went and bought a game. So I bought Shadow of Mordor and Assassin's Creed 4. And I think at the time I didn't realize they were the same game. Like Shadow of Mordor is an Assassin's Creed
style, I guess.
There was some lawsuits I thought that went on from that game, like they were claiming like stolen IP stuff.
From Mordor?
Yeah.
Oh,
From
I don't know.
Assassin's Creed. I thought I heard about that.
I hear it's a lot like Batman. Like
it's Batman combat with.
It was gonna be a Batman game, and then they changed it or something. But
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they're both really good. I haven't put as many hours into Mordor, but that Nemesis system grabs you right away. That's one thing about that game. You're in it like an hour and you're having a blast doing all the stuff they want you to do. Whereas Assassin's Creed took some time, like I don't know, maybe 7 hours before I got to my ship where I'm like pirating and robbing people. It was better than 3, but
Sorry.
what's that?
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, I mean, 3 took even longer to get to that stuff. So maybe 4 isn't quite that bad, but like we're actually turned loose on the open world. I can do what I want with my ship. Took a while. But they're really cool games.
I messed around with Shadow of Mordor, and I'm probably the only one that felt this way, but it kind of reminded me of Demon Souls a little bit, just because it's like a world and you go find people to fight. but it's a cool game. I like how you get to know your enemies, kind of. Like the nemesis system, and it kind of gives characters to the enemies. But it's just like, man, next time if I ever talk about buying a single player game, just tell me no. Just remind me, don't do it. I played Far Cry 3 because I figured, well, like you, I said, well, I want to buy Far Cry 4, but I have Far Cry 3, and it's very similar. So I played it for like a half hour and it talked me out of buying Far Cry 4. Luckily. But I don't know. So that's PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah, I haven't been playing a
PlayStation
bunch.
4 podcast.
I've played a bunch. Oh, one more game. Binding of Isaac. So that game looks like shit. I thought it was shit on the PC. And then for some reason, in the PS4 setting, like before bed, I'll fire it up and do a run through,
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing a bunch of that game. And every run I get a little further. Every run's a little different. I get different items. Usually when I get more powerful items, I do a little better. It's hard, too. I don't know if it's a good game. I've been playing the heck out of it, though. Have y'all seen it before? Played it yet?
No.
Played it for like 2 seconds, and I saw that it was an indie side-scrolling looking. I don't.
Yeah, it's a roguelike. So
Yeah. I don't know. I don't do the indie little cheap games. I mean, I understand that like Braid was pretty cool, but I don't know. I like playing MMOs. I don't have an opinion.
yeah, I don't know. It's you get the loot mechanic, which is addicting. Every run is different, and you either get further or you don't. And there's a lot of skill, like arcade skill. It's a bullet hell type of game. So you're dodging shit while you're trying to kill things, getting items, kind of a puzzle thing with like a Zelda-like screen. I don't know. I've been playing the crap out of that game. So I went and bought another bullet hell game on the PC called Nuclear Throne. Y'all heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I don't think it's
So, yeah, those guys stream their development every Tuesday and Thursday. Like you watch them code and talk to each other and like
I got games to play. I don't know what's. I guess you could put it on a side monitor.
yeah. Well, I mean, probably it's during the day while we're at work. I think they're in Europe somewhere. Well, those same guys made Luftrausers. Have y'all heard of that game?
Yeah,
So
that's like a 1941 like airplane flying around shooting things, right?
yeah, I saw it. It looked like crap. And then on a podcast, I heard them talking about it for the music, and so I went and bought it. And I have played that game. I think I've unlocked 100% of everything in it. So I'm like 4 or 5 hours into it. It's a stupid little arcade game, but it's so good. Well, those same guys made Nuclear Throne, and it's similar to Binding of Isaac, but it's way better because each character is drastically different with its own powers. It's a lot more bullets. It's more arcadey, less weird. Binding of Isaac has a really weird theme, like child abuse and blood and.
Enough
Yeah,
for app.
they're cool little arcade games, I'm having a lot of fun with them.
Anything else?
That's it.
Let's talk about some MMOs.
Let's do it.
All right, so we talked about Final Fantasy a little bit. You play that more, Quint? You been playing that?
Yeah, I have a problem with that game right now. So I'm sort of playing it like a story game. It's a Final Fantasy game. The actual main storyline of that game is very good. The problem is that it doesn't span your entire leveling experience. And I think I thought you guys froze for a second. I'm like level 46 and I'm completely out of quests. The only thing that I can do is I could grind, which would totally suck in that game because it's actually a very tactical game. You have to worry about where you're standing. You couldn't just pull like 10 mobs and AoE them down. I can dungeon grind, but I'm a DPS, so that's like an hour for each dungeon. And then I can do these things called leave quests, which are like daily repeatable quests that you can just do over and over again.
Yeah.
You have to they like will build up to, you can like store up to 100 leaves that you can do, and then they like replenish slowly over time. So I think I don't know what the daily allowance is, but I have up to 100 because I don't play very often. But it's so boring just doing that shit.
Yeah, the leads are like dailies, and they're the
Yeah.
same shit. Yeah.
It's the same fucking 4 quests that I can go out and do over and over and over. And they give just the tiniest, like this much experience on the bar every time you do it. And I've got
How
like,
are you?
I'm like 46 out of 50.
And out of 50? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Dragoon. And
Oh,
I
geez.
really want to get to 50 because I want to complete the badass Dragoon armor set. And, I want to try a raid in there. And it's just, I have no desire to go forward, unless
Hey,
something happens.
I'm like you, but I'm 32, and because I stop and start that game so much, I have a hard time every time I come back to find the quest thread, like where my quest left off.
I hate
And I go to where I think I'm supposed to be, and I've already done them all. And then I go to another area, and they're too hard. It's like I can't. So I did lead quest from 30 to 32, and no, 28 to 31, and then I did fates from 31 to 32.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. There's fate grinding, which fates are like public quests that just randomly pop up around the zone. The problem is that was like the far and away best way to level back in the day, and then they changed it and they made dungeons better as far as XP goes. Now hardly anyone does fates. You're lucky if you get one person to show up and help you, finish this public quest. So that's off the board too. So I really want to get there, and I want to get to 50, and I'm gonna do it. It's just gonna take a long time, and hopefully I'll do it before the expansion comes out.
So are you paying monthly on that? Obviously, right?
Yeah, and I have a legacy account, so I only pay $10 a month. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, I had a sub for an entire year, and I was level 32, and I finally dropped it. I just wasn't playing it. I'd play like 1 or 2 days a month.
I noticed that you guys don't have any World of Warcraft on your list. What happened there?
well, I went on vacation.
Yeah.
Nate.
No, about the same. I was gone for 2 weeks to Vegas and Maryland, and I came back and I was done.
Right, that's what happens to me. I went to Detroit for the holidays, and I came back, and it's like I haven't really played anything that I played before that. I started a bunch of new stuff now.
Yeah. Well, I'm just curious. So I have been playing. Well, I play Elite Dangerous. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
Nate and I, Butch and Matador Pants played Elite Dangerous. Went and bought a $200
What?
Hotas, brother. We're talking about flight stick. We're talking about throttle.
Hotas.
No.
And then we played. And I got my Oculus Rift, and it's so cool, man. You're in your cockpit. I got my stuff,
Yeah.
right? And I turn around like this, and I look behind me in the Oculus Rift. You can see stuff behind your seat in that game. That game is
shit,
so
really
badass with the Oculus Rift.
nice.
You're playing it, right? You got your throttle and stuff, and you learn that like you gotta let off with your dogfight. You let off. You kind of adjust your speed a little bit to get things dialed in. But when you're looking at your monitor, things just go off, and you have you got your Oculus on. You're like this, and I'm like, look at the guy. It's pretty badass, man.
Oh, man.
That being said, there's this other game I played where you're in it's just a demo, and you're in a. Just want to show everyone real quick. Oculus.
Yeah.
But you're in a. Is that on? You're in a mech, right? You're in this like mech, and it's just the way you're in the cockpit of the mech. So you have the glass, so it has the glass moving kind of like this, and it shakes kind of, and then you have this. It's just there's some cool stuff coming for the Oculus Rift. Is it worth getting right now? Not unless you're a freak like me, but man, I cannot wait to see. Like I showed like my dad, he put it on. He's like he's the type of guy who go like, what the hell do you have this for? It's truly amazing. One of my friends, this English guy, it's one of my good friends. He goes, man, there's two types of people. There's people before the Oculus Rift and after the. He's a little bit dramatic, but it is an amazing thing. Anyway, so back to Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous is really cool in a lot of ways. What it makes you want to do is play Eve. So.
Yeah, because the flying is really good. Oh, yeah, Eve there. The flying is really good. Like when you come out and you got to steer through the docking.
You got to land it.
Yeah.
Through the hole.
Yeah. Get through a hole and align your thing, and you know, when you're dogfighting, it's intense. It looks great. There's 400 billion systems.
Okay, we're back. We had some difficulties there.
Nice.
Sorry. So
That's
anyway,
gonna be fun to edit out.
I can figure it out. So there's sorry about that. We didn't touch anything. I don't know. Anyway, so Elite Dangerous is so like you go out and you mine some stuff and you get some stuff together and you bring it back to a station. You can't even like store stuff. Like there's not even an inventory system. You have stuff in your ship, but when you get back, all you can do is sell it. If your ship gets blown up, they give you another ship for just a small cost. There's not like that big
Yeah,
loss.
no player makes anything. No
Mhm.
player buys anything. You sell all of your stuff to an NPC. Now that does fluctuate. So if we all go like get the same shit and sell it, you know, it will move prices. So there's like players are affecting the game, but not in the Eve like way where someone makes something that someone needs something and there's an economy. It's almost like a single player game with multiplayer, but then you can't group up well either because all of their group features it's really heavily instanced,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
makes sense because we're flying around with like real physics and shit. But you know, you get in a group, you can't find each other. So you get this. I don't know. We had a lot of issues. So I think the next big patch is their wings patch or whatever, and that will add better grouping, which may help the game some because that's what we need. We need more like social features,
How?
guilds and clans, and
So, well, it's a dog fighting. There's like that's what it's
No.
about, right? No.
No, it's just an open world. It's an open,
Oh.
you know, it's open. You go out there and you can do trade runs. You can go mining. You
Oh,
can
okay.
go and do missions. You can just pop. You can PvP. You can grab people. So basically, there's hyperspace where you're flying kind of in a different realm where you're flying really fast,
Mm-hmm.
but you see like anomalies and you can,
oh yeah, I can like cool it out of that,
right.
kill him.
Yeah. So you can't kill me.
No, 'cause I suck.
You.
Yeah, you would definitely kill me.
Oculus
He
Rift.
has the Oculus. You can't.
What? No, and that helps. That shit helps because
Really?
like
Got
for
it.
me it is because to see your peripheral vision,
Yeah.
I gotta hit a button and then move my mouse, look around. All cool
Oh,
has to do is
he
like
just
look up
looks.
and like
Did you
yeah.
guys get that part when I was doing
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. All right.
Yeah, it's
As
awesome.
you're talking about it, I was like, wait, did we error out on that? Anyway, so I don't know. I think Elite Dangerous is going to be cool. Like, you got when Eve first launched, it didn't have all the stuff it has now, you know?
Right.
So we'll see. Kind of makes me really curious what the Star Citizen is going to be like.
Yeah, I don't even give a shit about Star Citizen. Like I want Elite Dangerous just to put more social features in, connect us a little better, let us go do stuff
Okay.
together better.
Just say that because I understand their whole raising money thing is bullshit, right?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, how is that game not going to be pay to win?
When that game comes out and you're flying, landing on a space station, getting out and first person shooting things, if it works well, you're not going to not play that. There's no way you'll not play that game.
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Okay. I believe you, but I mean, how is it not going to be pay to win? We can't even answer that question right now, but I mean, you can literally right now go buy a $5,000 ship if you want.
Right.
Really?
Yes.
Ah.
People are buying them.
Once a week, there's a brand new $300 ship, and that's how they get their thing another $1 million.
Oh
So-
my god.
The joke's going to be on them when someone like Grimscar goes out there and grinds out and gets all those ships for free.
Yeah.
Question is if you're buying a $300 ship, clearly you're not going to lose it.
No, you're not, because when you spend that money, it comes with insurance. That well, if you bought in early enough, you always have insurance. If you're buying it now, you get like 6 months of it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it's good, we'll play it. Cause you know what? We've talked about this before. There are so many older MMOs and games out there that we still have so much more life in them. I could care less if there's another new game in another year. There's plenty to play.
Well, we definitely have a dead year.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, possibly. On the consoles front, I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to The Witcher 3.
Witcher 3 looks
Yeah.
cool.
Witcher
And
3 for sure.
in Tom Clancy's, what is that thing?
The new Rainbow Six game.
No, well, no, the open world one.
Oh,
Uh, the Order.
no. Something
Oh,
like
I know
that.
what you're
It's
talking
called
about.
the something.
Yes, that game does look cool. What is it called? Who cares? Console
Yeah.
game.
Is it Tom Clancy? It is,
Yeah, I
right?
think so.
Yeah, that looks pretty
We'll
cool.
call it the disorder. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Um, and I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway,
Yeah.
so MMO wise, I have been playing like when we all were playing Arcade, I lasted like 4 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to play Mortal, and I'm still playing Mortal. And I've got 2 accounts going for the last 3 or 4 months, 3 months maybe.
Yeah, you're on a good run right now, dude.
Um, and I have kind of, we got a guild, we got a good guild. There's a bunch of us playing it. Nate finally came back.
Yeah, I finally. Well, so I I had no MMO after Arcade, and I had all that vacation time, right? So I finally said, okay, I'm ready for an MMO again. So I bought a 3 month sub to Mortal 2 weeks ago, and I played
You
like
played-
3 or 4 play sessions. Yeah, and that game is just an ass beating. Like when you're starting off, man, it's so fucking brutal. Like
It's awesome.
I got to Meduli. I needed 10 gold for my heavy armor book. That was my goal for the week. Okay. And I died. I must have got PK like 10 times. I'm in the graveyard with a fucking wood chopping axe getting killed naked.
Here's my advice about Mortal. Don't be stupid.
Well,
Stupid, you're gonna be gone.
so, I've played it enough to where I know that when I get past that, there's fun there. But the problem was the first 3 or 4 play sessions were really like just brutal. And then I had some stuff going with family. I didn't play for a couple of days. The actual thought of logging back in was kind of hard.
Yeah.
And then I got in this big arcade game kick. So tonight was my first night like back. I played it for 2 or 3 hours. Got my heavy armor book. Got my skills sorted out. Learned some armor crafting stuff. So
Mortal is not the game that's going to say, go do this, go do that, go do this. It's like you got to set goals. And I have the most fun when I play Mortal when I'm striving for something. Like I've been making an armor crafter. And I know you were making an armor crafter, Quint.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a 300 gold books you need to buy to make a good armor crafter.
Yeah.
So I'm working towards that. I got the first one. It's already skilled up to 100. And, then I've got a weapon crafter. And so you say, okay, well, I can make an axe. An axe. Now I want to make a Tendrimic messing axe. So in order to do that, I got to have first I have to have my dude that makes metal. He's got to learn how to make Tendrimic messing. Then I've got to learn that skill on the weapon crafter. So it's like all this stuff that you got to level up, but I enjoy it. Sometimes I go through phases of playing like 8 hours on the weekend a day, and then I'll go through I'll just pop in for a couple hours here and there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to be had there. But that being said, like I said, I also, because we were playing Elite Dangerous, it really made me want to get back into Eve. And I've just been playing Eve kind of here and there on the side, and playing with you a little bit, Quint and Jamie, and it's like there's a lot of fun to be had there.
Yep.
Finally having some fun in Eve.
You just
what are you
gotta
doing?
find,
Are you just mining and missioning? Are you trying to PvP or?
I'm like AFK. Like now.
Yeah.
when I'm not thinking, when I'm actually like, it's my focused game. Quint showed me how to do the scanning of what is it called?
It's exploration, so data and relic sites.
Right. Did that, and then I also created so I have 3 ships. I got that ship, my mining ship, and I got my go out and kill ship.
Yeah.
And I got rolling with drones on that, So I don't know, man. It's just like I said, just kind of doing whatever I feel like doing and not really worrying about what I should be doing or what's going to make me the most money or anything like that.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
kind of fun. I think you got into it because you went and saw that movie, Quint, right?
Yeah. I went and saw Interstellar, and I got back. I was like, oh man, I need a space game. And then I found out that I was talking to Jamie, your buddy, and found out he was playing a little bit. And then I found out you were playing mining and stuff. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. Just bought in.
Do it.
And oh man, I've been having more fun in that game than I've ever had. And I think it's just because I'm kind of just figuring something out that I can do on my own that I enjoy, rather than what we always try to do. It's like, let's go PvP. And it's like, okay, that's cool. We'll get frigates and we'll go, do all the faction stuff, My problem with that game, and maybe this goes back to my whole anxiety that I get, is that I can't bring myself to go out and actually lose a ship knowing that I have no way to replenish that myself, you know? So then I just kind of like, I started going to YouTube, looking up, and I almost don't even want to talk about it because I feel like this is like the hidden secret of Eve. Because so anyways, I watched a video and it's like exploration, easy way to make ISK, accessible to newer players. So I'm like, all right, cool. Watched it. I was like, well, I can get into an exploration ship in like 2 days with skill training, just based on some of the other skills that I had. So I started doing that, running around, hitting some data and relic sites, getting a lot of advice from Jamie because he's way into that out in like nullsec. I'm sticking to highsec right now, and I got freaking lucky. I hit a relic site in highsec, and I got a blueprint that was worth 400 million ISK.
Yeah, so the game wasn't like this. I mean, even a year or two ago, they I mean, some of it was, but they've put a lot of work into making sure all the career paths have like a viable path as a brand new player. So like a low skill guy can get in, and now there's like shit to do, and you can make some money in exploration early.
Yeah.
It just wasn't like that when I started playing. The exploration was cool. We kind of had to like backdoor into it later once you had a nice skill base, because the money you would make in high sec was awful. It's great, and reason why I like exploration is it's missioning, which is kind of boring, right? But if you want to play by yourself, you want to make money, you mission. But this is missioning with a random loot mechanic in it.
Well, you're not doing missions, are you, Quint?
No,
it's he's fighting NPCs. You
Right.
get a site, you're fighting NPCs.
But
Anyone.
see, what it's like to me though, it's more of like, it's like playing an old adventure game where you're kind of solving a puzzle, you're figuring shit out. So you're taking your sensors and you're moving them over here. Okay, they'll scan it. Okay, that's a little bit too cold. Move it over. Okay, look at it, getting warmer. You finally get this thing. You take a little ball of sensors and you get it narrowed down to a tiny little ball, and you hone in on that thing, and you're like, yeah, it's a data site, or yes, it's a relic site. So you get in there, and then you start hacking, and it's like playing Minesweeper, a little mini game, solving this puzzle to hack the system.
I have you played the new mini game. You're right. They didn't used to have that.
Right. There's no rats. There's no
well,
rats there.
You will later. Later you'll hack. You'll be in low sec and you'll hack something, and then NPCs will spawn.
Well, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stick to wormholes, and they don't have rats in wormholes. I'm going pure exploration.
They have rats.
Oh, well.
They'll. So they also have what's called dead sites, which you'll work through them, and you'll kill a certain spawn in the dead site, and those will drop really rare loot.
Huh.
And so it's almost like you might go for 4 hours making 30 million a site, and then right before the end of the night goes, you get that one drop, and it's like 1 billion ISK.
Yeah.
And it's similar to what you got with the blueprint.
It's gonna be one of those casts where people write in and tell them, but Nate doesn't know anything about Eve.
Oh, who knows? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, the crazy. They change Eve so much though. I mean, they just had an expansion that released 2 days ago? Yesterday? Was it yesterday?
Just got done patching it yesterday.
And wormholes are similar, except for you have the sleepers, and they have really smart AI, unlike missions, which are you can like map out the mission. Sleepers will nuke you, they'll scramble you, they'll heal each other. So they're really hard. It's better group content, especially when you get into like the harder wormholes.
Yeah, I sold that blueprint, and I got into a ship, one that I've been wanting forever. It's an Estero. It's one of the pirate ships, and you can put a covert op warp thing on there. It's awesome, right? And the other thing that's good with that is that it also works well with drones. So I think I'll be okay. I was watching a video with there was a guy who was using an Estero with drones fighting off like a level 4 combat site. He was doing really good.
Yeah. outlived the wormholes for 2 years, and just the best part of that like section of Eve is just every day is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you go and you scan everything out, you explore, and your space is this way.
Yeah.
You know, and your openings and your connections and the map, who you're like who you're next to, who your neighbors are, who's like coming on top of you, all that changes.
Yeah.
And in nullsec, you have to like travel to see different things and meet different people
So
and
when you're
fight
in a
different
wormhole and you lose your ship, how do you get another ship?
Yeah, you got a couple ways. Well, when you die and get potted, you're back to high sec.
Oh, really?
You're done. So you have to have friends that can get you out, or have an alt there that can scan you back in.
Oh,
You'll find like a pathway to known space, and your the guy that died will fly back into that opening back to where
gotcha.
you live.
Cool.
Otherwise, you're not finding your same wormhole again, not for months, because
Yeah.
there's thousands of systems and they all connect different ways.
Yeah, and the wormholes collapse. They'll be up for like a day or two, and then they're gone.
Right.
You know, so it's always that's a cool aspect of it. I'm one day like I'm right as of right now. I'm like 24 hours from a covert ops cloaking device. So once that goes on, I'm gonna
Key.
hightail it out.
You definitely need that for wormhole, because
Uh-huh.
you want to be able to warp to sites and towers and things like that without uncloaking yourself.
Right.
So you need covert ops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one thing about wormholes too is you can't. There's no local. So like in low sec
Oh.
and high sec, you always know who's there.
There's no local chat, so you can't see who's in the system.
You have
Your
no.
scanner though, right?
You can talk in local. So when
Uh-huh.
you talk in local, they'll see your name. Before that, you have no idea who's there.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Oh yeah. So I mean, you may think you're cool
Mhm.
and you're mining a site, or you're doing a combat site. So a new wormhole opens up, and then a whole fleet just drops on top of you, and you missed it.
Yeah.
You got to have scouts out. You got to be constantly de-scanning. It actually makes you a really good Eve player, because then you get to the rest of the game and it's like Eve on easy mode.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it really isn't, because there's a lot more people in known space, so there's usually a lot more danger. But you're so used to like your surroundings,
Just watching your back and looking at the overlay and all that. Yeah, I get
But when
it.
you get local, it's like, okay, this shit's easy. I know who's there. I know where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Great part of the game.
Yeah.
Cool. So the two more games I've been playing on the MMO front. So a couple friends of ours decided that they were going to play a secret game.
The secret game.
Secret game. And we're like, what are you guys playing, man? And they're like, we can't tell you.
Yeah, so I want to know, how did you get in this game without me knowing about it? Because me and you were talking, trying to figure it out.
What's the
Next thing I
first
know,
rule of
like,
secret game, man? We don't talk about secret game.
So what happened was
I got left out of this fucking picture, is what I'm saying. Like, no one ever invited me to play this game.
I'll tell you what happened. This is what happened. I figured out what they were playing. I knew what they were playing. And then I went into our little chatty thing we do all day long, a little Google Hangout, and I go, sometimes I just feel like playing a theme park game. And right there, got an invite.
Yep.
And so it's Star Wars, not Star Wars, Star Wars: The Old Republic. And so I started playing. They're basically just playing the PvP, right? Just want a little side thing to PvP and not getting all serious. Now they're all kind of, I think, getting a little bit more serious about it. But I rolled a class and I started playing. I just didn't like it, man. Then I switched to a bounty hunter and I'm liking it a little bit more. And I also kind of took Quint's advice and just kind of started approaching it like a single player game, and kind of like, I'm not doing any of the quests except for the story quest, but I'm listening to all of it. So I'm getting the story just from the very narrow, not narrow, but I'm not taking all the quests because it's
you're just getting the main storyline.
just main storyline, but I'm listening to the quests. I'm reading and listening to all of it, so I know what's going on, and it's a little bit more immersive that way. You played with us a little bit, Corey. So did Jamie. So there's 5 of us. Yeah, 5 of us.
I was a little bitter that I wasn't invited to this party, so I went and downloaded and set up Star Wars Galaxy's emulator.
Nice.
Play some of that, and I'm putting screenshots up. Y'all play your shitty game. I'll play the greatest sandbox last 10 years.
What?
No, that's what people say. It isn't. It's a good game.
It's
though.
good, but
Yeah.
There's a reason it's not around anymore. Get that. It was good at a time, but then they changed it because they didn't have enough subs. If everyone was loving and playing that game the way it used to be, they wouldn't have changed it.
Yeah.
And they changed it because they needed to make money, and then everyone hated it, but they grew. It's like whatever. Anyway, we don't need to go down the Star Wars Galaxy thing once again. But then, of course, Tera came out with their expansion. And I got to tell you, man, I just like playing Tera. I I could give a crap about the story. I give a crap about anything. I like fighting mobs in Terra. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun. Like especially because I know the game well enough, and I just AOE grind, man. I'll go pull 20 mobs my level and just mow them down, and that's fun, man. And then I think Quint got a little Terra bug going.
I do. I actually played for about an hour today, just when I got home, just messing around, running around. But I'm doing differently. I'm doing the quests. I'm going from quest hub to quest hub because I feel like it's faster with XP. Like when I finish a quest, I get a big chunk of that bar taken away.
Yeah, that's true.
And the one thing that's kind of nice is that the hub will give you about 5 quests. So it's like 5 quests and a main story quest, and they're all in the same little circle of area where you have to go. So I'll just get all those, go bust them all out, go back, turn them all in.
It's a little
boom.
indicator on the mobs you need to kill.
Yeah, it just makes it easy, and it gives you really, really good XP. I want to get up. I want to get to to be able to do the PvP stuff.
Dude.
All right, let me know when you're level 58. That's where I'm at.
Are you?
Yeah, whatever. The first time you do PvP, you get a quest,
Uh-huh.
and once you win, your team wins, you get a full level. It's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do it at 50.
I've never played that game more than an hour, but they had those instant characters.
Mm-hmm.
So got a 58. Every time Court
Oh,
talks
that's
someone
right.
new into playing it, like he talked Matador into playing it, Butch,
Mhm.
what's the other guy we play with from Darkfall? He had him playing it. I always tell him, I'm like, yeah, as soon as you hit 58, I'll play. I already got a 58.
But no, you know what though? I'm glad I didn't do that. I'm actually glad because I feel like if I would have done that, I would have completely no interest in that game, like zero. Because what's the point of playing if you're already there? You know?
I don't think it
and
increased or decreased.
I did do it, and so I have the main tank in the game is a Lancer, and I got him leveled up unnaturally, but I did play him a lot, so I know how to play him now. But I don't know how to play a dungeon. Like I don't know how to tank a dungeon because I started at the hardest dungeons. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rolling a healer now, a priest, and dude, I'm just loving it, man. In the PvP, so there's different PvP, but really there's only one that you're gonna play, and that's called Corsair Stronghold.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is there's a castle, let's just say, there's a stronghold, and one team defends it, and then the next turn, the other team defends it. So you start out and you run in there, and you got to knock down some walls or climb these ladders, and there's some tanks you can jump in, and then you get past there, and then there's the inner walls. But sometimes people can sneak over because there's these little things you can ride. There's like cable cars, and sometimes it'll end like in 2 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it lasts. It's just cool,
They cool it real quick.
That battle. Sometimes it takes I don't know how long until they call it, like 15 minutes or something. Like if you can defend that long, but it's fun, man. I could play that battleground over and over. What?
Yeah.
Move your camera back down.
I think Edward behind you there, he psychically moved the camera up on himself. You want to pull it back down again?
My camera?
Yeah, it just went a little more.
So you guys have been playing the Old
You're good.
Republic PvP there, which is straight up battlegrounds. I did read them, so they got like a couple different.
Yeah, I don't really like them, to be honest with you. They got Hut Ball,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know, man. To me,
Well, they all play a little different, right? They have like 5 battlegrounds. Each one's a bit
Yeah.
different for the
Yeah.
win
and some of it's
scenarios.
more fun than the others, but it's tab target, dude. I don't know, man. Are we beyond tab target? I am.
But so, I mean, my question is, you have battlegrounds there. You do some battlegrounds and Terra. I don't. It just doesn't interest me. I'd rather have open world PvP.
Yeah.
So
Well, the Terra is full on open world PvP. The
I
sort of
don't understand why, like, especially like some of our friends that are playing Tor heavily now, they completely quit on Arcade, and Arcade has great open world PvP.
yeah, arcade's combat sucked dick, man.
Yeah, but it sucks dick and Tor too. I mean, it's tab target. I think
Yeah, but it's I'm not going to defend it because I agree with you to a point. But the difference is in Arcade, I don't know. I felt like in Arcade, whoever got the jump won.
yeah, that's true. That's definitely true.
But I didn't play. I played the alpha, and I was good at PvP. I had a good role class. I did well. Um, I just, I don't know. The boat stuff was awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think the coolest PvP there is if you get those Darkfall boats out there in the water in another boat and do shit like that.
I don't know.
One style,
The kind of PvP I like because I'm not good at it. So I like to have like an investment in the world, like our SOS base in Mortal.
Yeah.
If that gets attacked and I'm online, not that I've done any of this shit yet, I'm just starting.
No,
But
no.
I would help us defend it or go attack someone that attacked us. Like all that stuff is way cooler to me than just if I'm gonna do a battleground, I would rather do it in something like Battlefield 4 or
But you don't.
Planet
But
2.
so I disagree. I don't. It's. I mean, you're not wrong. It's
Well, because to get good at those games, you got to have all the gear. You got to have all the. You have to level
Right.
your class up. You got to do all this shit to like.
there in Terra. I can go and I can. If I have an hour, I can PvP nonstop for an hour. You can't do that in Mortal.
No, you're right.
Take you an hour while you're waiting for Joe Schmo. Oh wait, hold on. I just got to craft one more set of gear. We're ready to go. Oh wait, my mount died. Does anyone have any mount food? You know what I mean? Trust me, it's a better game. It's a better thing, but you don't always have the time and patience for that.
It used the same way. It's hard, to get a fight instantly can be hard. That's why people do faction warfare and red versus blue is because it's easier, quicker PvP. If they're busy with family, they can get in and out and play.
Tera, sometimes some dude will just run by, and because he's level 60 and I'm level whatever my character is, one of the ones I'm leveling up, he'll just look at me and I'll die.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
I don't know. If I want competition and instant gratification fights, like I'm gonna load up at a first person shooter.
well, you're stupid.
If I want
Just kidding, man.
if I want PvP and MMO, I want Eve and Mortal and Worm
But
and
here's the
like
difference. Let me tell you the difference. This is why I enjoy the non-sandbox PvP, is because you're still building a character that you're going to take into battle, right? I'm building a character that I'm going to take into battle. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to grind out to get the gear that I want, put it together, choose the skills I want, and then I'm going to go test it in this arena or whatever you want to call it, this battleground, right? It's like I wish Diablo had that,
Yeah.
yeah, but then it's so much. There's so much behind the scenes that isn't your skill. It's do I have the best sword for this? No, I lose a fight.
Well, it's just different. And you got three different tiers. You got everyone's equal. Let's just go see who has the best Twitch skills.
Yeah,
Then
it's
you have-
apples and oranges.
right. Then you have Mortal, which is like, okay, well, this is the whole Game of Thrones politics and crafting and this realistic thing. And then you have what's in the middle, which is like a game like Terra or WoW Battlegrounds, where you're bringing your own shit to the game, right?
Right.
You're not driving someone else's car here. You're bringing your own car to the race, right? And your car, and it's just different, I don't necessarily enjoy playing like Call of Duty and stuff because I don't feel like I'm progressing, and you're progressing if you're building, your skills and your leaderboard or whatever. And I know there is some RPG crap going on there where you're building up, but to me, I get more satisfaction out of playing a game where I'm building something and then I'm testing it. And that's the way I look at Terra.
That's kind of why I liked what Elder Scrolls Online was doing. It wasn't a battleground. It's just a big battleground where pieces move and add a couple things to that, and I'm way more that interests me, even though there's no penalty for death. There's just more happening in that than just one battleground that's over with.
Yeah. I agree, but I will tell you, man, and I know you don't see it because you haven't played it enough. There's something in Terra combat that is almost like a fighting game. Like there's counters and there's blocking and there's all this stuff, and not completely like a fighting game. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
The last game I had that in was Age of Wushu,
Right.
where that game is so like counter to counter to counters to feints to then you counter. Oh, it was crazy.
So there's gear is a very important part, but there are people who are just good at playing the game. And it's because if you have the best gear in the world, if I don't have any gear and you don't hit me, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, if I don't have any good armor and you don't hit me, it's irrelevant. And there's people who know how to not get hit because you're dodging and anyway, it is apples to oranges. There's different satisfaction levels in all those tiers. I think games like Eve and Mortal, for me, that's dinner, right? This other stuff is dessert. It's just like, hey, I've already eaten dinner, but I need a little snack and I want to get a little excitement and I'm going to go out and play Terra. But I do find myself getting sucked into Terra, man. It's just something
that's your
it's
you're like
Achilles heel. I don't
Guilty pleasure.
It is.
yeah, guilty pleasure. That's the word I was looking for.
I've been playing, I've been going off and on that game for a long time.
Well,
I
forever,
guess
man.
because I'm not a like PvPer. I'm a guy that likes to live in a dangerous world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like someone to be able to kill me while I do Care Bear shit. And
Well,
I
that's
like to
Tera.
go out, and I like when I'm in the mood for PvP or my guild's doing something to be able to participate and help them and fight. I'm
That's
never going to be
Tera.
that elite PvPer guy.
Sure, but that doesn't see. I'm not that elite PvPer, but I don't think that I would never say I'm never going to be that guy, because I get better at everything I play every time I play it. It's just, I think for me, the really, really good PvPers in Terra and the really good PvP players in Mortal aren't playing both games. You know what I mean? And they're not playing Eve. We just spread ourselves thin, I think, and then we don't focus enough.
Right.
Anyway, I think that we've nailed that conversation to the floor.
Probably. Let's. I want to talk about repopulation.
Yeah, I haven't played.
Oh
it.
yeah.
It was the last cast. That was a game I was playing, and they had an NDA,
Right.
and the NDA is dropped. So I don't know. Have you guys played it at all yet? Okay.
I haven't.
So I guess I kickstarted it. I don't remember when, but I did that at a level enough to where I got in recently.
Okay.
And so this is Star Wars Galaxies.
That's what I'm hearing from everyone. It's like, this is Star Wars Galaxies, but it's rough.
I hear it's even broken like Star Wars Galaxy.
Quint, name a feature in Star Wars Galaxies.
Entertainer.
Entertainer.
They have them. Yep.
Oh
They got
my God, really?
Entertainer, musicians.
Awesome.
And,
What about resource gatherers?
Oh, they have comedians. You can get comedians
Harvesters?
too.
Yeah, harvesters.
Okay, I didn't get that far, but
Speeders?
Probably. Okay, stop. I haven't
Wookiees,
played-
rancors. I want a rancor.
I haven't played every population.
I think that the key for me is if it has harvesters. Machine.
Well, so the crafting is really similar. Quality levels.
Yeah.
But they kind of tweak it all and make it more accessible and modern, and like the way stacks work. It's doing some neat things. It's like
Mouse
Star
lock?
Wars Galaxies
Mouse
made
lock?
now.
Mouse lock.
What's that?
Mouse lock.
Yeah. So there's two modes, which is shit annoys me, because build your game for one style and make it work for that. Because
I think that's going to be their downfall, man. They're not.
so there is straight up tab target with skills, and then there is mortal or shooter like controls,
Yeah.
and they both work pretty good.
different
But
servers.
what's that?
Different servers for those two.
No.
No.
So why would you ever use the more difficult control system when you can just tab target?
Because you're not
Okay,
a pussy.
but for me, see, I prefer Twitch style.
Well,
I'm
it's
better
way
at that.
The game's way better that way, but there's tab target. I can hit tab and hit a button.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not as good at tab target as I am at Twitch based games. Like, I would
Yeah.
prefer Twitch over anything. I'm better.
So what you're telling me is if I'm a caster or whatever version of casting that they have, I'm throwing a fireball at some dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm at aiming, I can miss, but if I'm tab target, I can't miss. I don't think that.
No, it's more. I think it's more of ESO like soft targeting, where you gotta get your mouse around them, and then goes at them. I think I haven't played it a whole lot. I literally
Well,
it took me
I will,
4 hours to get through the tutorial because
Oh
it's
my
that buggy.
god.
but
It's
that
that
was a
buggy.
while ago, right?
No, this is like 2 months ago. It would crash. I would quest lines couldn't progress in the tutorial. Okay, stuck in walls, all kinds of shit. It took me a long time. I had to restart tutorial over and over and over again to finally get through all of it.
See, I'm not going to judge a game on the way it works.
No, I won't.
It's launch.
I'll judge it when it launches. Correct.
I will judge a game by the rule sets that it applies, because we have to imagine that they will fix the crap that's broken, right?
Yeah, right now, it looks like a game we're all gonna really like as far as its rule set, and well, it's all the features it's trying to do.
So what about the idea? See, my issue with the game is that they're gonna have they're gonna have hardcore and PvE and PvP, and when you do that, first of all, we'll just have to completely remove massively. I don't even want to listen to that crap that they spew on their comments about all the PvE people.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is most people are going to play PvE because most people are fucking pussies. And then they're going to throw all the money to that part of the game. And the game that they promised that they first originally started out to do is never going to come to fruition.
The hardcore server definitely interests me more, but keep in mind that the PvE server it's going to have a large PvP zone with territory control, more like what Arcade had, only I guess no sea battles. So
you're going to have
even if we're stuck on this PvE server, there'll be shit there we can really dig into, I think.
Well, I'm not playing a PvE server.
Let's say they don't launch for the hardcore server. I mean, they promised it, but we may not get it.
Yeah.
You know, if the real game is this. Yeah, what I'm saying is the regular rule set, there is a section of that game that we can dive into with territory control.
Yeah, I'm going to play it. I'll play it. I don't know, man. I'm not alphaing much anymore. I'm not going to say I'm not going to alpha anything, because, guaranteed someone will come out there want to alpha.
Yeah,
You're
you're
gonna try H1Z1?
I don't know, man. It's like,
See, I probably will that because that's early access. It's almost like an
don't
FPS
I have
game.
Rust?
And it's like
stuff?
$15, right?
Yeah.
20, I think it's 20.
That was a 20?
Are you gonna play it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm getting it tomorrow.
The one game that I will immediately, as soon as I have a chance to play it, would be Mark Jacobs' game. What is that one called?
Camelot Unchained or something, or
That's the one I want to play.
yeah.
Just because, I mean, come on, Dark Age of Camelot.
Mhm.
I don't. That Dark Age of Camelot holds a special place in my heart. If a game could, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think repopulation, the features that are there. I think we really like. The crafting's gonna be deep. I think the combat is fine. It's so buggy right now.
Do we know
What's that?
territory control?
Yeah, it's got all that in it. And if you go read through the hardcore rule set, it's perfect. It's exactly what we want in a game. I just don't know that it will be that playable when it comes out. It depends on when they launch. If it's out this year, man, it's gonna be rough. And there's a lot of people that don't play our kind of games that are interested in this because it's basically Star Wars Galaxies. And those guys aren't ready for a buggy mess.
There's a lot of people who read massively think this weird thought that is very isolated if you really think about it. I mean, we can't take the population of massively, because I don't know, man. If you go to work, find a guy that plays World of Warcraft and ask him if he ever heard of repopulation. You know what he's going to say? What? He ain't never heard of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's a weird thing too. I mean, just talking about that. I mean, the World of Warcraft community, there is a lot of fucking World of Warcraft players who only play World of Warcraft, who've only ever tried World of Warcraft and will only ever play World of Warcraft. So I don't know if that's that good of an example.
I have a cousin that's that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
I think if it launches this year, they're in trouble, and they're a small team, and it very well may come out this year, because I don't think it's gonna be playable anytime soon, at least not for the masses. And you got one shot in a game like this,
Yeah. Well, I hope they get together. I mean, I hope it comes out, and I hope it launches well. And
I think it's with the
You know.
Here engine. So
The what?
the same engine that the Old Republic's on, right? The Here
Hero.
engine.
I never even heard of that engine before.
Yeah, there's been a couple of games that have used it. So that may be why it's kind of wonky.
The best game in the world has the Unreal Engine, so can't really judge a game by its engine.
Yeah, Unreal Tournament 3 is
No.
best game ever.
Mortal.
No, Mortal.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing that because Solutions in chat. He was all talking about.
So let's wrap this up. Is there anything in Twitch? Anyone saying anything that we need to address?
Solution was asking if we'd played Elite Dangerous. He missed it. We already talked about that. Yeah, dude. Watch it when we post it.
Solution Dragon, I got something for you, buddy. Solution Dragon was playing Mortal with us, and he recently quit because there's no map.
No.
How many times can you quit the same game because there's no map, man? There's never going to be a map in Mortal. Next time you go back to play it, come play it, man. It's fine. You'll learn your way around. But there's no map. There's no map.
Yeah.
Now I've got my second monitor. I put a map on that monitor, and I look at it while I play.
It works. You get used to it. You recognize landmarks and all that.
Yeah.
Point in Mortal where you don't need a map, and it's so satisfying. It's so immersive. Like we were talking about H1Z1, they're going to have some servers that are first person only.
Mm-hmm.
We're all saying that's what we got to play on. One of us said, "No, I don't want to play first person only." It's like, man, it's just so much more immersive playing first person. Especially like in a survival horror game, you know?
Yeah, because that third person view in that game will definitely, you'll see more. You'll
take you out. It'll take you out of being in the world, and it'll make it that you're playing a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for H1Z1, even though I mean, it's definitely it's not launching like an MMO. They say they're gonna have a giant map with like thousands of players on a server. It's gonna be a tiny ass map with like 60 players tomorrow.
Dude, I can go play Rust. I can go play Life is Feudal. I can go play 7 Days. I don't know.
I was interested in H1Z1 for large game world, lots of players, and those games with a persistent world. And I'm gonna play it tomorrow, and then hopefully that they promise it will come out. I don't know when.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait a week or two,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna play it. Tomorrow's gonna be crazy.
Drink Jameson is what I'm gonna play
Well,
tomorrow.
I'm gonna buy it tomorrow. If I can play it, sure. If I can, I'm not gonna sweat it. I'll play more Mortal or
Yeah.
more arcade games.
Yeah, Nate's finding every excuse not to play Mortal.
Yeah, play it tonight, motherfucker. Play it tonight.
All right, so hey, we got an email from a guy named Vonlin. I got this email quite a while back. He's asking some Mortal Online questions, and I'm going to probably put together another Mortal cast. I'm trying to make it happen this weekend. Just because I don't know, man. No one else is doing Mortal casts, and I'm not the biggest expert, but I don't know. I love the game, and I want to.
Dude, they gave you a section on the website, man. You gotta do it.
But one of the things that he mentioned, he says a couple things. He compares something. I don't want to read the whole email, but it's real. It's good. I'll send it to you guys. He's kind of like everyone. They kind of want to know. Hey, I want to play Immortal. It's a great game. I love what you guys have to say about it. I'm paraphrasing for sure. If the UI feels clunky, what do I do? How do I get started? And it's kind of like every cast we've done has kind of been like how you get started in Mortal Online.
Mm-hmm.
But, it is a viable. It's definitely a decent complaint.
Well, that's the main question for that game, because it's just you get dropped off, and what do you do?
There's stuff that you can't even find out. I mean, it's purposely that way is what people don't get. It's purposely, they give you a little help thing and you can read about things, but forget about like what kind of bow do you want to use? Like the first character you make, if you don't ask somebody, you're going to wipe that character because it's not going to be able to do anything. Which is sort of a problem, kind of, like kind of want people to play your game. Anyway, they're launching on Steam soon. They're opening a whole nother continent. The world of Mortal Online is going to be bigger, more than twice as big as it is now.
Yeah, that continent's gonna be a desert, which is weird. I know Meduli is kind of desert area, but I was kind of hoping for just more varied landmass.
They make it sound like it's going to be a desert that can kill you, which to me means that maybe it gets too hot, and if you don't have proper drinkable stuff. Like people don't realize, Mortal, you make food out of stuff you find, and you figure out like, oh, I'm gonna throw a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, the crafting system is nuts.
Literally, sometimes your character throws up, sometimes he dies, and sometimes his health stuff goes up. So I'm thinking maybe, who knows? Maybe this desert, in order to cross the desert, you're gonna have to have some like, something to drink with nerd. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, I know to get across, it'll be a player built bridge. So I'm positive that. Well, I'm sure when this comes out, that will be crazy.
Across the ocean?
No. When you leave Meduli,
Yeah.
going towards like the, like the desert horse spawn.
Yeah.
As you're going, like when you're gonna go up, like past the graveyard, you go up, and right when you're about ready to curve around, there's a bridge that's never been.
Oh yeah, it like drops off or something, right?
That's where they're gonna make it so you can build that, and then on the other side of that's gonna be the new continent.
I feel like that bridge is never gonna get fucking built. It's gonna be people there just killing each other all day long.
Do you think we can just swim across?
So I got a plan. I'm not gonna say about it. Not gonna talk about it. I got a plan. I'll tell you later.
Okay. Sorry.
But the other thing is that you can now, like if you ride around Mortal, you're not going to recognize some places because people could put walls up. Like there's whole areas of Mortal that have been walled off. So like there's one guild that we're friendly with. We can go into their area. It's completely walled off. You can go hunt and do everything fine, freely, but also people wall off bridges. So someone's going to wall that off. Is that everyone will band together and take that wall down, Forget about, if you don't have access to that, I don't know. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, and everything's hearsay. They don't tell us everything,
There's some speculation in the Twitch chat now saying that thirst probably will be added and that the current mechanics lead us to think that what you're saying is true.
Yeah, well, what's gonna happen? What if you have all those like fat mages run around in the desert? They're just all gonna get skinny real fast. It's gonna fuck everyone's character builds.
Well, you just gotta take food. Like you could pack a lot of food, but who knows, man? It's just like Mortal to put some crazy shit in there, though.
Oh yeah,
it's cool. We'll see.
Yeah, dude, that bridge is gonna be fun. I almost want to hop in just to check out the opening of the bridge.
I'm feel excited, like man, because I'm not playing any other game. This is my MMO for 3 months, and whether I play it every night instead of single player games is another story. Yeah. But I mean, when I play an MMO, this is what I'm playing, and so I kind of get to see all this go down. Hopefully.
Who's in Twitch right now?
Oh, we got a lot of people.
Yeah, Solution wants to get a little blurb about Life is Feudal from you. Cool it.
Yeah, so I have played very little Life is Feudal. Kind of reminds me of Eve a little bit. I mean, not Eve, sorry. Of Worm a little bit. Like very meticulous. Pick up a piece of plant, turn the plant into, whatever. And so right now, the way it works is there's servers. It's kind of like, like DayZ, or I haven't played DayZ recently. Kind of like Rust.
Yeah, Rust. It's small.
Server, and you can adjust how fast you learn stuff. Kind of like Zion, how you'd have to do a task over and over and over to raise that skill, and then you got more skills. Like let's say your wood cutting got to like another level, and now you can do something else with the wood. So there's little sliders that you can adjust each of the servers to say, okay, well, I want my skills to raise fast or slow, and building could be fast or slow. There's all this stuff, and for me, I don't really want to get too deep into playing it because I'm very interested in it. I want like a server that I know if I spend could you imagine building a village in Worm? How many man hours it takes to do that, and then the server be gone? It's like that. I'm not putting that effort into that.
Right. So I kind of want the game to be a little further along, and then maybe we do our own server.
Further along, rent a server.
Yeah.
Let us build on the server and then release it to the public where we're all powerful.
or just skip this all together, and because it looks like they've made a bunch of money, and so I think it's pretty likely we may get the MMO version of this.
Do you know that we interviewed that guy like years ago or something?
I listened to the interview.
Back in the day.
Huh?
Yeah.
That was way back in the day.
Really nice guy. I think he was Russian. I still have him on Skype.
Well-
I should send him a message.
You should
See
do
if he wants
something.
to
Talk
back
to
on.
him.
Well, then they failed their European version of Kickstarter. That completely tanked.
But I think that the European, what is that thing called? A go-go?
I don't know.
That one though,
Indiegogo.
if you fail, you get the money that people put.
Yeah, but they didn't even make money.
Oh,
Like if you go back and look on that page, it was hardly anything.
yeah.
So,
No, I
mean, it's a good success story. They put it on Steam, and like Rust and DayZ, they're one of the few that got a bunch of sales.
I'm happy for him, man. I think it's the
Yeah.
it's the right thing. You know what it kind of reminds me of too is another game that's been popping up lately a little bit more and more is Gloria Victis, right? You guys
Yeah,
tried?
let's get some news. I've watched you. Can we say that? Is it
Yeah,
NDA?
no, it's.
I've watched you. You streamed it for us.
I spent money on it. I can do whatever I want with it.
Well, I don't know if it's protected or not, but
I don't-
I saw you play it for a while.
Butch and I ran around in that game, and you know what it reminds me of? Reminds me of Mortal Beta. So it's kind of like, well, I already got Mortal, but I don't know.
Yeah, just added weather. I mean, a constant
If I
updates.
play that solution, I'll check see if there's a map.
Not likely.
Now, I don't know. It might. I mean, the other thing I played a little bit though, we're on that topic, kind of, is I played that Richard Garriott game for a second. You guys tried that?
I have tried it. I didn't get
No.
very far into it. It's weird.
It's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's still early, but it didn't remind me of Ultima at all.
No.
It didn't remind me of anything. Kind of reminded me of, I don't know. It's just weird.
You're talking about a Shroud of the Avatar.
Yeah.
I am waiting until it launches. I haven't kickstarted, backed, or anything.
Yeah.
I'll just wait till it's out.
Wait for it, man. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of in a weird place right now.
I rarely am able to do that with this game for some reason. I've been able to completely skip it. I
I'm
don't know
starting
why.
to get a little bit better at this. First of all, because I've come to the realization I'm playing 4 MMOs subbed right now.
Yeah, me
4.
too.
And
So you're 4-1. I'm doing one every 3 months. Like I am not allowed to sub to any other game.
4, but I got 2 subs to Mortal. But there's still a couple games that need my attention, and it's like I'm not done with Age of Conan. Just to let you know this, I enjoy PvPing in that game tremendously for some weird reason, and I'm also not done with Fallen Earth.
Yeah, I want to go back to Fallen Earth at some point.
So, and I could probably go. I'm definitely not done with Tera. Who knows, man?
Well, you have an expansion for that. So
Not really. I mean, they raised the level. They added, because they raised 5 levels, and they added some skills and a dungeon. Who knows? Like I told Quint the other day, I want to play every single character to max level in that game for some reason.
Mhm.
Every character is fun to me, except for the one Quint's playing. Actually, I don't really like.
Yeah,
That.
it's a little
in the
slow,
chat.
sluggish.
in the chat, Warp Drive Active is talking about Black Desert.
So we played. Oh no, Black Desert.
No, we haven't played that
We
yet.
haven't played Black Desert.
no,
Black
now-
Desert looks awesome.
You have some friends that are in the Korean beta.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
no, that's kind of cool, but I'm in no hurry, man, because there's still, like I said, there's still a lot of games I want to play.
yeah, I'm not in any rush to play that game. I'm definitely not gonna go get in the Korean freaking beta.
You know what else I want to play?
No.
I also want to play Diablo more. I also want to play PlanetSide 2 when it comes on the PlayStation 4. I also want to play Elder Scrolls Online again when it comes on the PlayStation 4. So,
Cool.
I
It's
think Black
slowly,
Desert looks
slowly
too good.
becoming a console gamer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, slowly.
Yeah.
it's just, you know what? What it is it's a chance to be more communal at my own house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, now you're getting the Doko box, so
Yeah.
you don't have to
You
worry
know
about
what? I
that.
didn't actually buy that though.
Oh, did you? You didn't?
I was playing a game and I was typing out my information and I got attacked in the game. So
Yeah.
I went back to the game and I started, I thought I'd bought it, but they wanted all this. So anyway,
Yeah,
I
it's
heard
only up for
30
pre-order.
30 frames a second. It's 1080p, 30 FPS. You can't get 60 FPS streaming.
That's all right. 30 frames a second ain't that bad.
so it's not good. It's
Well, when you plug in the cord or Steam streaming gets you 60. So does the Shield.
imagine when you're going to go out in PvP Immortal Online, you're not going to be sitting on your couch or in your bedroom, right?
No.
This is for going out and mining or going out and whatever.
It's playing. Yeah, all kinds of single player games on your Steam library. It's for that.
Yeah.
Only doing it in another room at your computer's not at.
the other option I guess would be Nate's 50-foot HDMI cord.
Do you have one? You got one, Nate?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, I need to get one.
Like a 30-foot one.
How much was it?
Well, I went to Monoprice, got like a heavy duty badass thing for like $25.
Oh, nice. Yeah, see.
Just get that, man.
Yeah.
We don't need the other thing.
Yeah.
That's what I do. It takes me 5 seconds to set it up, but I'll still buy a game on my console to not do that. Like I could have bought Assassin's Creed 4 for $10 on the PC and streamed it to my
Well, you spent the
TV,
$400 on a damn PlayStation. You might as well utilize
But I
it.
spent $27 to buy a copy on the PS4 to not fucking do that. Like it's kind of dumb. But
all right, we're getting long, dude. We are running long.
Okay, do you guys have the wireless Xbox plug-in thing?
Yes.
I wonder how much distance that thing has.
Long distance, like probably 5, 7, 10 feet, maybe.
All right, let's put a fork in this.
Let's do it.
Anything else in Twitch? We good?
I think we're good.
We're good.
All right. Well, thanks for everyone who listened on Twitch live and everyone who's listening to the recorded version. You can find us at, you know what, dude, I just remembered. I think I need to renew our thing, man.
What?
Check. Anyway, we're at a couple different places. www.sandboxpodcast.com, which I need to renew. And then otherwise it's at MMO Smack Talk. Most people know how to find us.
Yeah.
Twitter. Let's get Twitter out of the way. I am at Sandbox Podcast. Nate is at Nate Ryle, Nateryl. Quint is at Sandbox Quint. Our Twitch channel is
Twitch.tv.
Whatever.
Yeah, right.
Sandbox Podcast.
If you want to send me an email, coolit@gmail. We don't get a lot of emails, and I hope we're reading them. Most people put things on our forums, on where we actually post on our website. There's a place to add comments. We haven't been getting a lot of those either. I know we're getting a lot of people listening and watching the show. I haven't even gone to YouTube lately and seen if there's a lot of comments. Have you guys?
No, there's nothing there either.
Okay, cool. So send me an email, send us a whatever, and hit us up on Twitter, whatever, and let us know how we're doing. If you want us to talk about something, I hope to get a Mortal Cast out this weekend. Fingers crossed. Gentlemen.
Peace.
Later.
Not too bad.